this session. This session is the meal operations during remote learning. We do ask that once you get into the room, you just put yourselves on mute. And I am going to turn it over to Deanna as she will get us started.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Deanna Day. I'm the Food Services Director for KIPP DC. And today I'm going to give you an overview of meal operations during remote learning. So today I'm going to give you an overview of our vendor, discuss what we've heard from our parents, discuss our plan for meal distribution, what to expect as a parent when picking up meals, and our COVID prevention measures, and then we'll end with a Q&A session. So Preferred Meals is our new vendor for early childhood through high school. In the fall of 2018, we started transitioning our middle schools and high schools to Preferred Meals, and Preferred has been highly favorable, especially amongst our middle school students. And we're excited this year that Preferred Meals will now serve early childhood and elementary school as well. So now this year, going into this school year, all schools have transitioned over from Revolution Foods to Preferred Meals. So under the National School Lunch Program, schools receive funding from the USDA, which is funneled through OSSI to provide, to offset the cost of meals, of serving meals for students. Under this umbrella is the National School Lunch Program, the School Breakfast Program, and the After School Snack Program. So schools have certain restrictions that they must follow under the National School Lunch Program, such as schools can only receive one reimbursable meal per student. There are limitations as far as calories, sugar, and sodium intake. And so as you can see, this is a sample menu here that we have for our remote meal operations. And it shows both our daily breakfast and lunch option that is provided in a 5-day meal box. So if you look here, you'll see this is week 1, and this is what was distributed during that week of meal distribution. And I will say that while some meals may be carried over from week to week, depending on our inventory, but these are this is our monthly menu for meal distribution. And so as you can see, some of the options here are low sugar, but we do offer Rice Krispie treats, Frosted Flakes, and other highly favorite items for students. We also have some new items on our menu this year with Preferred, such as the cheesy Chipotle chicken with Spanish rice. We also this year, offer, last year mac and cheese was considered an entree. We've heard feedback from students and parents. And so there is an option for chicken strips with mac and cheese. And so we have some really exciting menu options that consist of like popcorn chicken. Our meatloaf is a highly favorable item for some of our campuses as well. And then we have chicken nuggets with potato wedges. So this is just a sample menu. This is posted on our KIPP DC website. And so you can reference any menu items and food that we are distributing as well by referring to our website. So what have we heard from our parents? So 84% of respondents anticipate picking up meals for their children. 63% of, let me go back. Actually, we sent out a parent survey. Some of you all may have received that. And so from our parent survey, what we did find is that 84% of respondents anticipate picking up meals for their children. 63% of those who responded did not participate in the KIPP DC meal distribution when schools were first closed back between March and June. The majority of those who plan to pick up meals are from our Benning and our Douglas campus. And then we also surveyed our parents of whether or not they had a preference for 5-day meals as opposed to having 2 meal distributions where we would have, you'll have an opportunity to one day during the week pick up a 2-day meal distro, a 2-day meal box, and on an alternative day, pick up a 3-day meal box. And basically over 90% of our families said that they would prefer picking up meals once a week by picking up a 5-day meal box. Tuesdays between 10 to 2 p.m. was also the preferred pickup time. And over 50% said that an evening or weekend pickup would be most feasible to their schedule. So as far as meal distribution times and locations, we are distributing meals on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., Wednesdays between 7:30 a.m. and 11 a.m., and we are also distributing meals once our Wednesday workshops start, and we will distribute both breakfast, lunch, and snack for Wednesday workshops. So we are distributing meals at 3 of our campuses, which are our Benning, our Douglas, and our Shaw campus. And students have been assigned to specific campuses based on where they are enrolled. So our Benning campus will serve our Benning and our Smilo campus. Our Douglas campus will serve our Douglas and our Somerset or Willer Road campus. And our Shaw campus will serve Shaw, Webb, and KCP students. So when schools first closed back in March, the USDA considered COVID an unanticipated school closure. And for that reason, because schools did not have adequate time to prepare for their school closure, the USDA allowed any meal site to serve students from the community. So any student that was 18 years and under could go into any meal site to pick up meals. Now that schools have had the opportunity to prepare for COVID reopening, the USDA said that schools can only serve their enrolled students. So we are providing grab-and-go meals to all enrolled KIPP students via Doorside Pickup. So families will have an opportunity to pick up a 5-day meal box consisting of a daily breakfast and lunch option, plus one additional ready-to-eat sandwich option, which is distributed on a weekly basis. So that 5-day box will include 5 breakfasts and 6 lunches. And that is a 5-day box per student. So if you have 3 students in your household, you will pick up a meal for each of those students. Frozen meals are also provided to families. So we are providing frozen meals to families so that you can store and reheat meals at home along with shelf-stable options. So all of our lunches are hot lunch options that you can reheat at home. And our breakfast is a combination of both frozen and shelf-stable items. Meals are served only for school operational days. So meals are not served for any scheduled PD days or any holidays. They are only for our scheduled operational days. Meals are also distributed a week ahead. So this week, if you picked up meals this week for meal distribution, those meals are for next Monday through Friday's consumption. Parents and guardians also can pick up meals on behalf of their children. So the USDA and OSSE has provided the flexibility for parents to pick up meals and for children do not have to be present when picking up meals. Meals can be picked up once per week per child during the 3 optional pickup times. So again, our meal distribution times are Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 2 p.m. or Wednesdays from 7:30 to 11 a.m. We also provide meal accommodations for any special dietary restrictions or allergies. So we provide vegetarian, non-dairy, and gluten-free meals are available upon request. Meal requests can be submitted through a meal order form on our KIPP DC website. So what can you expect as a parent? KIPP DC is a community eligibility school, which means that all students eat free. So there is no cost to families. Meals are available to every enrolled KIPP student in pre-K 3 through 12th grade. Only one 5-day meal per child can be picked up, and parents cannot receive duplicate meals during the week. Staff will verify enrollment during pickup by asking for your child's name and school for each child enrolled. Meals are served through Doorside Pickup, and families are not permitted to access the building. So when you arrive on a meal distribution site, we have one location, designated location on site, and tables are set up right at the door so that it will limit any interaction and for families to be able to quickly, easily come and pick up their meals and leave with their meals and limit their interactions for both themselves and for our staff. Staff and those who are picking up meals are required to wear a mask or a face cover. Families should also refrain from visiting meal sites if you or someone in your home has a confirmed case of COVID. You should consider appointing someone to pick up meals on your behalf. Families are also encouraged to bring reusable bags to help transport food. So food is unitized to minimize handling of food. So I'm gonna go back to this photo here. And as you can see, everything is individually sealed. So even when we do our Wednesday workshops, students will receive an individually sealed meal so that no food is served in an open container, which will minimize any handling or contact with food.
Hey, Deanna, we also have a question. Oh, well, never mind. Adam just answered it for us.
Okay. All staff have been trained on COVID prevention methods and best practices as well. So employees and contractors, when they arrive on site, everyone undergoes a daily health screening and temperature check before entering the building. So one of the biggest things for me, I know myself personally, one of my concerns was like going back out to eat and just like, can I get COVID from someone who's handling my food, or what are restaurants doing on their end to help prevent COVID? So I know for some, there may be a lot of reservations around that. And so one thing that we are doing is that anyone that comes into our building, they receive a health screening and a temperature check even before they are able to access the building. We are also doing more frequent cleaning and disinfecting of any high touch areas. Staff are frequently doing hand washing, and they also have personal protective equipment. So again, as I mentioned, everyone is wearing masks. When handling food, we're wearing gloves. And then we also have hand sanitizer available for all of our staff and for families as they are coming up to our meal sites. We also are doing contract tracing for all staff and contractors that enter the building. So should there be any concern, we are able to notify those staff, and staff will have to then self-quarantine as well. We are also enforcing social distancing, and all staff and families, as I mentioned before, are required to wear masks. So even though you're not coming into the building, we do want families to wear a mask because they will be interacting with staff. So for additional facts on the meal program, you can go to our KIPP-DC website, and it's kippdc.org/meals to get more information about the meal program. You also can access the meal order form by going to our website as well. And so I'm going to show you, basically this is the website here that has all the information, the address for our meal sites, which families should go to each campus, our schedule, what we're providing. So right now we are providing that 5-day supply of breakfast and lunch, and any frequently asked questions that you may have. So again, like who is eligible? So again, I do want to reiterate that we only can serve our students. So if you have children in your home that are not KIPP-DC students, they would then have to go to their designated school to pick up meals. However, if it is a family that has a child at KCP, and you also have a child at the Douglas campus, you have the option then to pick up meals for all of your children, either at the KCP campus or at the Douglas campus. So you can select which campus you would like to pick meals up for all of your children. You do not have to go to both campuses to pick up meals. And then this is how you also can access our meal order form should you like to place a reoccurring order. So you can place an order on a weekly basis, or at the bottom, you can also check that this will be a reoccurring order and just complete the meal form one time, and then we'll have that order available for you. And so we do strongly encourage parents that if you anticipate picking up meals, to please place an order using that order form, because that helps us anticipate how many students are coming to our sites to pick up meals. We also, that helps us gauge whether or not we need to have any special dietary meals at any of our campuses as well. So we do strongly encourage you to use that form. So now I am going to open it up for a Q&A session. I do have a few questions that I would like to ask you all, and just hear some of your feedback as far as what were some of the barriers for you that prevented. Like, we have a lot of families that expressed an interest in picking up meals now for our meal distribution, but we had very low participation from our network. So we wanted to find out what were some of the barriers for you that prevented you from picking up meals between March and June, and what are some of your foreseeable challenges as we go through remote operations this school year, and how can we improve accessibility for meal pickup?
Hi, I guess I can answer that question a little bit. I guess one of the barriers for me would be just like now, like my son is in school from 9 to 3:30, and so I would have to leave him home to pick up the meals, and I'm not comfortable leaving him home by himself. So that's kind of, an issue. Like if the hours were in the evening, I think you mentioned that some parents had requested that would be a little bit easier, because it'll be after and also I'm working from home also. So I would actually have to, leave my job, my work from home job to, go to the school to pick up all that stuff. So that will be just a barrier for me. Just during the daytime, it would be hard to leave him home alone and also to leave my job.
Okay, got it. Thank you for sharing that. And feedback from anyone else?
Yes, I have a question. What about the parents who still work and don't get off until 4 in the afternoon? How are we able to pick up meals for our children who's at home doing homeschooling?
So we do have, and I do want to put, because I know some parents have older children, and so it can be a child, a guardian, or someone that you appoint, or yourself, that can pick up meals on behalf of your child. One of the things that we did consider is for working parents. That's why we have that 7:30 to 9 o'clock. 7:30 to 11 o'clock time slot as well, because we consider that there may be some parents that would like to pick up meals before they do go into work.
But I have to be to work at 8 o'clock, so that 7:30 wouldn't work for me, because I have to be to work at 8 o'clock. So.
Okay. And we are considering other alternatives if there is a need. So if we see that there is a demand for having an evening time or to do something more flexible on the weekend, that is something that we are considering based on feedback from our parents.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to share as far as like what were some of their challenges or some of their barriers, or why have you not, like, are you not interested in picking up meals? Do you not need it? Like, what are some of your concerns or challenges with picking up meals?
This is Sabrina Phillips. I can agree with the parent who just spoke. I too work very demanding schedule, and I can't even sometimes come out on my lunch hour to get it. So yeah, it's a challenge with the time frame and trying to come and pick up.
Okay. Okay. And does anyone else have anything as far as that? Or would anyone like to add any information of like, how can we improve accessibility for meal pickup? Like, what can we do as a network to support our families with making sure families are connected with school meals?
I would say, I mean, if there's a weekend option, my name is Latrice Street. If a weekend option is available, will work for me because I'm a central employee and it's hard for me to get there because I have to drop my daughter off somewhere in the morning as well as my son. So I don't have the time. Even if you had evening hours, it still probably wouldn't work because I don't get off until 8 p.m. in Falls Church, Virginia. So the only thing that may work for me is a weekend option.
Okay. Okay.
And maybe a later pickup time for some of us. I know I can get up there by 5:30.
Okay. Okay. So it sounds like the consensus is that, yes, if there was an alternative time, that would be extremely helpful for a lot of you all. If we were able to provide some flexibility around evening pickup or weekend pickup. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to add that will help improve like just accessibility as we think about like our meal locations and how we're distributing meals? All right, so I'm just gonna open it up for general questions to see if anyone has any questions overall about our remote meal operations, our meal program, just to see if there are any questions, concerns, or comments that you would like to share.
I came in late. I do apologize. Did you all talk about, are there menus that are followed every week? And is that, if it is, are they available online for us to see?
Yeah, so we do have menus available online. So we are updating that information, but menus will be available online for parents to access that information as well.
Will that be under resources, parent resources?
That will be under, so we have a KIPP DC meal program page. And so that will be under this website here, which is kippdc.org/meals. And so any updates, so right now we have our remote operations, but once we do return to school, and if we have just like a combination of in-school and out-of-school learning, any updates will also be shared on this website as well.
I have a question. The meals you said that were frozen or that needed to be reheated, are there like heating instructions, or is it just us popping in the microwave and wishing for the best?
No, so there are. So in the box, you will have a holding guide, which tells you like how to store the meals. And then there's also a reheating guide that tells you how long you should cook meals and what temperature you should place them on. And so all of those meals can also go in the oven. So it tells you like the oven cooking temperature for that and how long you should cook it. Are there any other questions? Okay, so if that is it, I will turn it back over to Brandon.
There we go. All right, yeah, if that is all, if there are any questions that you all have after this, just feel free to email familysupport@kippdc.org.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do got a question.
There we go. What's going on?
What if you're closer to another KIPP than like the P Street KIPP? I think that's the address. I'm closer to Bennett Road, but my son goes to my Oliver location. So you can't go to the area that's closest to you?
So we do strongly encourage, I mean, while we do understand that there are some families that probably will, they will go to whichever campus that is closest to them. While we do encourage you to go to your assigned campus, you will not be turned away if you go to a campus.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And the reason for that is that we did not want one campus to be overwhelmed. And then considering just like our refrigeration and freezer capacity, we wanted to make sure that we had enough storage space to hold the number of meals that were needed, and we had enough staff, and we didn't create a backflow of like long lines with families coming out to our meal sites.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We'll allow a couple more seconds for any additional questions that you may have.
I just wanted to say thank you all for the time that you all put into making this happen, because it's truly challenging trying to make sure we got the meals together while we're working and keeping, the kid fed. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And one of the things that we really worked on, during just getting everything started for the school reopen, is that we wanted to make sure that all students had access to school meals, and that it wasn't a barrier for any of our families. So we have anticipated a number of meals that we have ordered, but we also, again, every student that is enrolled at our school has the ability to come pick up a meal.
All right. Well,
All right.
Well, thank you very much, Deanna, for this presentation. And thank you all, families, for providing your input. While we know that part of this, the goal of this is to share information with you, it's also to get very valuable feedback to help us make informed decisions on what we're going to do as we move forward. So really, really looking forward to our next couple sessions. We have one coming up on the 1st, the 9th, and the 10th. More information will be sent to you. Adam will be sending an email after this is done with a recording link to this video in case you have any questions. Once again, thank you very much. And if you have any questions, just email familysupport@kippdc.org, and someone from my team will get back to you as soon as possible. I keep saying as soon as possible. It sounds like a voicemail, but you guys get it. And thank you. Have a great day, and I'll see you around. Bye.
All right. Thank you.